Alright guys, I want to go with my throw ball real quick. I've got several. This just happened to be the one I used in the last video where I was climbing the tree. It's $2 right now, so I've got 4 rolls of pennies, 50 cents a roll, $4, or 4 rolls is $2, and duct tape those together so when it hits the ground or hits the limb it doesn't bust into a million pieces. And I've just got that in some old, I don't know, material my wife had left over. Cotton duck would probably be best. Not best, better than this. Fireman's hose is actually really good. If you can get some old fireman's hose, volunteer fire hose that they're getting rid of, that'd be great. Or an old dog toy like a Kong or something like that that's got that real hard canvas. That would really be better than this. This is about a season's worth of use. You can see it's starting to rip and tear. It gets me by, and like I said, I had the rolls of pennies, so it's basically free for me with a key ring. If you want to go all out, I'm going to show you here in a minute. I've got some BBs I had left over. BBs now are about $5 for 5,000, or 2,500 anyhow. You need about a pound's worth of BBs, so 1,200 BBs-ish. My math does me right. That'll get you close. That'll be 16 ounces. You can use less, you can use more, however you want to work it, but it's a pain in the butt getting the BBs inside the balloon. That's why I went with this method, because I can use this over and over again. The canvas breaks or whatever, I can just put it in a new bag and sew it up. Guys, sewing's not just for ladies anymore. If you can't sew, you're not a man. But stick with me, I'll show you something in just a minute. All right, so in this Ziploc bag, I've got 1 pound of BBs. They were just old BBs that I had laying around from an old air rifle from shooting critters and such. So I got a pound of BBs in that. Give you an idea, volume-wise, that's about how much a pound of BBs is. So you can use your measurements accordingly off of that if you can. And like I said, this is some of that same material my wife had. You can use that. This is some old t-shirt that I had laying around, and it's bright and green because I'm proud of who I am. But if you're going to use t-shirt with this thin material, I'd say double it up. Get 2 layers. That way it's a little bit more durable, because this stuff will stretch and you'll start losing integrity very quickly with just t-shirt material. Ripstop nylon would be real good if you had no pair of BDUs, just anything like that. Really, imagination is the limiting factor here. So I'm actually going to use all 3 pieces of material. And for sewing thread, I'm going to use just some braid that I had left over. This is 50-pound braid. You can use whatever. I don't have sewing thread because I'm not that much of a girl, but you can use whatever. And how I'm going to do it, you'll find your seams, or call it your seam if you want to. So essentially it's going to be folded in half like that, and the ball is going to fit in the middle, so you actually have to sew it in reverse. So I'm going to sew it this way, and line up your edges as best you can. You can tell I'm a seamstress. Look at those edges. Look at them. Anyhow, so line up your edges, and I'm going to start on this end and just do, I call it a running stitch. I'm not sure what the real name is, but I'll go in this way, and I'll just come out and go back in, come out, come back in, come out, and come back in. So what that'll do is that'll roll this edge a little bit, and it'll finish it off. So let me put you in the speed frame, and I'm gonna get this going. Is I'll find both ends, so I have a long loop, and I'll put both ends through the eye of a needle. Just come out a little bit, a couple inches, crease it good so it stays. So now this will be my end, that'll be my termination point or my starting point this side, so I don't have to worry about tying a knot and then that coming loose. So get down here at the end. So I go in, and I come right back through. So now when I pull the thread, fishing line, whatever you want to call it, it'll pull, it'll stop on itself. And you have 2 pieces of string versus just one. But I'll just keep running this up and see how it folds the edge a little bit for you. That'll, in my mind, add to longevity. All right, get up here close to the end. I'll do one more, and then I'll terminate that. Just a couple of little hitches here. I'm not a surgeon. All right, so that's one side. You'll do the same thing for this side, and then when you flip it inside out, look how pretty. Look at that, looks like a daggone pillowcase. Look at that. But anyhow, you see what I'm talking about. You do this side over here, it'll be the same. So you'll basically have a tube at that point that you could then put your BBs in. And what I like to do with my BBs, because I'm a narcissist, I put them inside of a balloon, and that's a trick all in itself, and that takes about an hour and a half for me to do. Not really, it takes a few minutes, but put the BBs in there, and then you can put this whole thing down in your sack. But for time and sake of demonstration, I'm going to just use a Ziploc. Just let the air out of it. All right, so let's say we've got both sides sewed up, and now you're up here with this end up here hanging. That's where you take your key ring and you would fold this over on top of your key ring. I didn't bring one because I like being prepared. And you just basically sew across the top of that with your key ring hanging up here. And that's your 1 pound throw bag. Like I said, this one cost me $0. It's just stuff I had laying around. If you had to buy every component to make one, you can buy fat quarters at Walmart for $1, which is the same type of material. And it's half a yard, I think, or something like that. Maybe 1 yard of material would be more than enough to make 4 or 5 throw balls. If you had to buy balloons, I'd say go to Dollar Tree, get $1 sack of balloons. There's 20 in a pack, so you're at $2. BBs, if you had to buy a big thing of BBs, you're probably talking $10 for a big thing to get you 4 or 5 throw balls. So all in all, fishing line's freaking $20 a roll now. But if you don't have fishing line, get the $1 thread at Walmart or Dollar Tree or whatever you want to call it. And so all in, you might have $6 or $7 for several. If you want to break it down to one, it might be $2 per one. Like I said, the one I got with the pennies here, this is just pennies and old duct tape that I had. That cost me $2 essentially, plus the material, so we'll say $4 for that one. If you buy a throw ball nowadays, it'll run you probably 18 or 20 bucks, maybe more, depending on the brand. I live check to check, so anywhere I can save dollars and it makes sense, I will. But if you have any questions on anything like that, let me know, and I'll see you in the woods, maybe. My international travels around Alabama. Talk to you later, guys. Take care.